Hey guys, this is Rupesh from Beebom.com, and along with the new Realme 5 Pro, Realme also announced the new Realme 5, and well, as you can see, we have it here. So today we're going to take a look at the new Realme 5. Now before we do that, let me tell you that this video has been sponsored by Wix.com, which lets you create some stunning websites. I'll talk more about Wix.com at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Now let's take a look at the new Realme 5. So this is the new Realme 5. So what are the new upgrades does it bring over the Realme 3? Well, quite a few interesting ones. There's obviously the new flashy back panel, there's the much hyped quad cameras, there's a much bigger battery, and there's a new chipset on board. Well, let's get into detail. First up, the design. The Realme 5 has the same diamond pattern finish as the Realme 5 Pro, and well, it is striking to say the least. I mean, I still like the glass finish on the Note 7s, but it is subjective really. Anyway, the back also has the new quad camera setup, which I will get back to later on. There's also the physical fingerprint scanner, which is really fast, and that's pretty much it. The front hasn't changed much though. There's the same 6.5-inch IPS LCD display, which is still an HD display. Now I get it that this is the budget segment, but the Redmi Note 7s has a 1080p display, the Zen phones have a 1080p display, so honestly I was expecting a full HD display from the Realme 5, but sadly that hasn't happened. Apart from that, the Realme 5 has the usual buttons, the headphone jack and the micro USB port. Yeah, another thing I was hoping Realme would change, but wasn't to be. So it's clear that the back finisher is the only change that the Realme 5 brings. Yeah, the front is said to have the mini drop notch, but I don't think it's as mini as Realme is making it sound. It's pretty much the same. Now what's not the same is the processor. Realme has taken the Qualcomm route with the Realme 5, and the phone features the Snapdragon 665 processor, which is a decent upgrade from the 660, along with up to 4 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Coming back to the 665's comparison with the 660, it has the same CPU cores, but it has a newer GPU, has been built on a more advanced 11nm process, and it also packs in a newer ISP, which means more camera capabilities. The 660 has the higher clock speed, but yeah, overall the 665 seems like a decent upgrade on paper. Now let's check out the benchmark scores, where things get pretty interesting. So as you can see here, the Snapdragon 665 scores aren't better than the 660. In fact, the 660 does better in AnTuTu and even Geekbench, which is surprising really. Now what's more surprising is the fact that the 660 beats the 665 in GPU benchmark 3D Mark as well, even though the 665 has a newer GPU. I mean, yeah, the scores are pretty close, but I kind of expected 665 to beat the 660, and I'm pretty sure you expected the same as well. When it comes to day-to-day usage, the phone has been fine so far. I haven't come across any lags or stutters, so yeah, things seem positive. On the gaming front, PUBG Mobile on startup shows low graphic settings by default, but when you play the game, the default settings are set to medium, so yeah, the medium is the default setting. And on that setting, the game runs without any problems, so it's pretty good. I also played the game on high, and there's a little bit of stutter, so there's that. Having said that, overall the performance on the Realme 5 seems like a big positive to me, especially for a phone that is priced at less than 10,000 rupees. Now coming to the other big positive in the Realme 5, and that's the new quad camera setup. The primary camera here is a 12 megapixel f1.8 camera, and I like how all the other cameras are same as the Realme 5 Pro. There's an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now there's no 48 megapixel camera, but the Realme 5 captures some really nice photos. I mean, for a phone that has been priced below 10K, these photos seem really good. As you can see, the phone does a great job with details and the dynamic range in good light. In low light there's a bit of a struggle, but for a budget phone I like the clarity and the details. Anyway, it's still early days, but I did capture a few comparison shots with the Note 7s, so take a look. Then there's the ultra wide angle lens, which is pretty cool. Since it's the same as the Realme 5 Pro, it is pretty good. As you can see in these photos, the ultra wide angle lens does a pretty nice job, and the photos are actually pretty good. The macro lens, on the other hand, is kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I like what the viewfinder shows me when I'm capturing a macro shot, but the final image is something different and not something I like much. But yeah, I'll be testing things out more. Lastly, there's the portrait mode, which is pretty good. Yes, there's a bit of smoothness going on, but overall the Realme 5 portrait mode shots have good edge detection and blur, so yeah, it is nice. On the video front, there's 4K 30 FPS support, and here's a 4K video from the phone. So the quality is pretty good, as you can see, but since EIS does not work in 4K here, it's not very stable, which is kind of obvious. Now here's a 1080p video from the phone, and here EIS works, so it is way more stable and nice. When it comes to the selfies, the Redmi 5 has a 13 megapixel selfie camera that is decent now. It has the portrait mode, HDR, beautification and more. Well, the selfies seem okayish. I mean, there's a weird color thing going on in the selfies, but it's not bad by any means. Plus, I like the fact that it has EIS, so front camera vlog should be way more stable. Overall, if you ask me, I'm really impressed with the quad camera setup in the Realme 5. I mean, a really nice quad camera setup on a phone that is priced at less than 10,000 rupees. Yeah, this is pretty good. Moving on to another upgrade, and this is a big one. Literally, the battery. The Realme 5 brings a massive 5000 mAh battery. Yeah, that is a huge upgrade over the 3500 mAh battery on the Realme 3. Now, the battery life is a huge factor when it comes to budget smartphones, and well, 5000 mAh means this is a device that should last really long. It is great. On the charging front, the Realme 5 comes with the usual 10-watt charger. I did try the Realme 3 Pro's 20-watt VOOC 3.0 charger with it, and it charges at 10 watts, so you don't get fast charging. Apart from all these changes, the software here is still the same. It's the same ColorOS 6, and it still has the same issues we talked about in our Realme OS expectations video. It still has the privacy issues, it still has the weird app recommending folders, and it still has the bloatware. So yeah, nothing has changed on this front. When it comes to the wideband L1 license, the Realme 5 does not support the L1 license, so no HD videos on Netflix and Prime Video. If you're wondering about the camera to API support, the phone has level 3 support, so yeah, that is sorted. That was a good look at the new Realme 5, and this is a phone that starts at Rs 9,999. So how does it stand against the Redmi Note 7s? Well, it does fine. See, the Realme 5 makes some compromises. It still has an HD display, which honestly is a bit disappointing. It still has the micro USB port, a plastic design, and it still does not have fast charging. Now, when you compare that to the Note 7's full HD display, USB-C port, fast charging support, and a more premium glass design, yeah, things kind of look bleak. Plus, ColorOS has its privacy problems and its share of issues, but if you ignore all of these problems, you get a new fancy back design. The quad cameras are actually pretty impressive. The Snapdragon 665 is a great processor for this price range, and the huge battery should appeal to a lot of people. So yeah, the Realme 5 is definitely not perfect, but it is another solid smartphone under 10,000 rupees. Now, talking about solid, reliable things, Wix is for people who want to create some great websites. I mean, it does not matter if you're creating your first website or you're a professional website builder. Wix is for everyone. I tried out Wix to build my website, and I did a fairly good job in just a few minutes. With Wix, you can create a business website, a website for your online store, photography, music, events, blogs, basically just about anything. Plus, you get so many templates and advanced tools like Wix Videos, Wix Pro Gallery, Wix Bookings, etc. So honestly, what are you waiting for? Check out Wix from the link in the description right now. That was a good look at the new Realme 5. So how do you like this phone? Tell us in the comment section below. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to share it to your friends who have been waiting for the Realme 5 and the Realme 5 Pro to arrive in India. Lastly, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. Well, that's me signing off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.